What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. I wasn't ready today. I wasn't ready. I woke up, I went hiking, had a good time. I finally come back and I hear Elon done went off on Maga. Oh, it was hilarious. I got to show it. I know many of you may have already seen it already, but I got to show this. This is Elon Musk and what he had to say about MAGA today and this big beautiful bill that they believe they created. Let's get to it real quick. Oh wow. In this big beautiful bill, this man says to them, call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. This is Elon Musk rat. I can't believe it. He flip-flopping left to right. He went full MAGA. Y'all remember? I ain't gonna say the word because it's not a word we can say now. You know, I'm 54 years old, but there's a movie out there, you know, where Robert Downey Jr. tells Ben Stiller, don't go full. You know what? And they went full MAGA. They went full MAGA, y'all. That's hilarious. So Elon Musk is fighting for his life to get some of these liberals back. So he's out here clowning the hell out of MAGA and these Republicans. And you know what's so crazy? That, again, this stuff is funny. Hey, Mark, how you doing, brother? How you doing, Swift Returns? This is some funny stuff that they had going on. Because to go back to the main footage here, you'll see there is a person who literally kind of responds to this, right? That's a sender. Let's see who that is. Okay. Scott Perry. Come to the front. Come to the front of the class. This fool said, so Elon Musk is right to call out House leadership. I wish I had a nickel for every time the Freedom Caucus sounded the alarm and nobody listened, only to find out the hard way we were right all along. We expect massive improvements for the Senate before it gets back to the House. What the hell is Representative Scott Perry talking about? He voted for this bill. I mean, these people are remedial. I mean, he thinks that MAGA's stupid, but America? I mean, come on. Who is he speaking to? This man voted for the bill. Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out. Oh, I understand, Elon Musk, and I understand that he's fighting the federal government. He's fighting you. You're in front of the federal government. You can't say that there's some kind of conspiracy theory going on in the government if you're leading it. I mean, these people are remedial. I like the fact that he's fighting the government. So you're saying, Marjorie Taylor Greene, just as long as you fight the government, no matter who's in power, just keep fighting the government. So we'll never have anybody in that's worth a damn, while you're saying your side is doing better than the Democrats. As long as we get this stuff off from the Democrats, they're talking about you right now. You're the deep state. You're the one in control. So you can't claim both sides of it like the deep state is still there from the Democrat side. It's the Republican side. These people are slow. Representative Scott Perry voted for this bill. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out today and said she didn't know that the provision in the bill that allowed them to go through with stuff basically without having to go through Congress, getting rid of their own rights and giving them to the president, she didn't know that was in the bill either. Who on your side read that damn bill? Scott Perry's trying to blame leadership because he didn't read it and he thought his leaders had. Why are you at work if you didn't come to work? How many of y'all can go to work, F up? They tell you to do something, you F it up. Let's say you're a crane worker. You come in, and you fuck up everything that you're supposed to carry from one location to another location, and you say, well, my boss didn't tell me that there was brakes on this thing. Say what? My boss didn't tell me they worked on the brakes, and these brakes, I didn't know about it. Before you get behind said vehicle, shouldn't you learn if everything's working? I mean, I can't believe these are the responses that they're having. And that MAGA should be going apeshit at the fact that the people they put in place don't know how to do their jobs. Scott Perry ain't new to this. You mean to tell me he's been collecting a check for years now and he doesn't know how the process works? You're supposed to read it and make a decision for your constituents. That means you have to find out, which they don't hold too many beforehand, not just now. They didn't used to hold too many of these town hall meetings. So they don't know what their people want. And then to go sign a bill without asking their people what they want. And when their people find out at their town halls, why did you vote for these provisions? We don't want them. This dude is telling you, oh, well, there's something wrong with it. And I agree with Elon Musk. You didn't agree with Elon Musk before. Or better yet, you did. And Elon Musk didn't tell us that he had liberal visions as opposed to these MAGA visions. He's trying to come back to the smart team when he was on Team Dumbass for so long. And the reason why, again, I've said it many a times, Elon Musk was on Team Dumbass because whatever he was doing behind the scenes, he knew they were too dumb to understand it. So he played them like a flute in front of their faces. Yeah, I believe in this. I believe in that. Then had his little minions fucking up our government, planning shit that he needs so that he can go off and make big deals in other countries, big deals in other places, steal other people's deals and find out what they have in place, go back and offer said country more money or a better deal than what he saw behind the scenes. Gave him free access. He didn't even have to get clearance to go not only steal our data, but to figure out how he could become a trillionaire by stealing other people's plans. Yeah, this man got major deals while he was in that White House for over 100 and something days. Closed down things that would regulate his businesses, that would halt him from making money, halt him from putting certain things in certain areas because of EPA violations, halt all that. Got rid of all the investigations on his businesses. Shut that down. And now he's back to talking like sense, even though we know he's a devil, a demon. It ain't even in disguise. This shit's out in the open. So he went in there and suckered the hell out of MAGA to get what he wanted. Say whatever you need to say and give how much money you got to give to get the orange idiot to do what you want him to do and then bounce. And he got so big like cojones, he didn't even wait a week. He left that building within the next day. This fool was clowning them. That bill's terrible. Abominable. It's abomination. And now, I'm telling you, today was a day, I promise you, I laughed so much I cried. Because we're going to go through some things today just because I want to see it all the way through so we can enjoy these laughs together. Because that was one where Elon Musk just lit into them and just said, basically, call your senator and everybody. Then he went on to say, another tweet was to say that he was going to put money behind getting these people out of office if they continue to vote the way they vote. They were scared before when he said he's going to get them out of office if they didn't vote with what Trump says. Now that he's gotten in and gained some power, he's like de facto president. Because they really were never afraid of Trump. Trump can't read. He can't make anything up for himself. He's listening to the idiots. And he's listening to this billionaire. Right? Because it's whom he's always wanted to be. Right? So Elon Musk has been controlling them like puppets. Even Trump. And now that he's out of office, no longer around them. Puppetville. He still got them. All he got to do is mention money. I'm going to spend $1 million here and there to get you out of there. What do you need, sir? Can I call you up? Hello? Are you there anymore? I can't reach you. I don't have access. Access denied. Oh, Senator Mike Johnson found out access was denied. This fool he was in the office. I just spoke to Elon Musk today. We're going to talk. We're friends. I consider him a friend. He made fun of him about what they were doing one day, like a couple days ago, last week. And then the man's like, well, I talked to him today. We had a long conversation. Seemed like he understood what we were talking about. I think he understands. He tried to call that fool today. Doo. Yeah, I'm sorry. The number you have reached does not give a fuck about you. That's it. Telling you, it's comedy, man. It's comedy. I was like, he looked butthurt too. We gonna see it. I didn't leave y'all out when y'all see this one. If I got it here, he got the doo. That shit's hilarious. Listen to this fool speak. You can look at him. The little vacancy in his eyes. You know he was a nerd in school, man. Nobody cared about him. He ate his lunches outside in the rain. Teachers wouldn't even let him inside the school. Go play on the playground. It's raining. I don't care. Just go take your ass out there. We tired of you. Watch this shit.
I called Elon last night and he didn't answer, but I hope to talk to him today. And I'd love to talk to him this week and hope he calls him back today.
I haven't spoken to him yet. I've been a little busy, but I left him a message.
I left him a message. I tried to call him. Why won't you call me, baby? I loved you. I gave you the best 6 weeks of my life. I'm telling you, man, I've been crying all day. He sounds like a jilted lover, right? It's like, but I gave you everything, though. Why ain't you calling me? I'm busy. I know it. I'm busy, but I'm really not. Oh, he got hit with the doo. Oh my God, this is comedy. This is comedy. They are so enamored by rich people that he was so excited to have access to Elon Musk rat. And then Elon Musk rat, once he left, he's like, yo, you know what? Nah, it wasn't that good. I kept lying to you. You were good. You wasn't good. You wasn't good. It's like an ex-lover. It's like, it wasn't good though? It's like, nah, it wasn't good. It was stank. I didn't even want to have to deal with it. I'm done with you. And he called him back trying to get back in the relationship. And he out in the open. This is why I know how these people really never had real relationships. I would doubt this man's wife actually likes him. Because this man literally doesn't realize out in the open, he's saying, I am stalking this man and he won't return my calls. He won't pick up. He know it's you, fool. I wonder, this is the real truth. I wonder what Mike Johnson's name is inside of Elon Musk's phone. I bet you that shit's some disrespectful name. It ain't gonna say Speaker Mike Johnson. It's some Speaker dipshit. Something. It is something hilarious. If somebody could hack that man's phone and find it, find the name, I promise you, it is not Speaker Mike Johnson. Nope. I promise you he has a nickname for him. Man, that's some sad shit. Why don't you call me back? I done did everything I could. Oh, my goodness. I told you they're the N.O.M.A.D.s, man. No merit administration. None of them have the merit, the wherewithal to be in the positions that they're in. They are way over their heads, and they know it. And here's the thing. They're trying to act like, this is one thing I realized in my life growing up. And this is not pertaining to all white people. This is for a certain group of people. I don't see it in any other culture. I mean, I could say I have seen it in the Latin culture, and most of the ones who claim to be white, right? To have this like bravado, this angst, like you are the shit, and knowing you don't have anything to back it up. Your grades sucked. You can't pull a woman. You pay for your dates. You don't have any kind of real money. You're always kissing everybody who's rich ass. You don't really have any morality. It's whatever somebody tell you to be, you join that particular group. And somehow You walk around with the bravado and the energy like you are the shit. And you don't know shit. It's all a facade. I have never seen that. In the black culture, we're taught that we have to work 10 times. There's always a times number. 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times than a white person. Then it's like 10 times, 20 times the average person. To be able to claim some type of intellect, to be able to claim where you are in life. These people wake up dumb as fuck and act like they smart. I promise you one day I'm gonna be smart. Are you studying anything? Nope. It's in the mind. I'm telling you. I can will myself to intelligence. What's 4 plus 4? I don't know yet, but I promise you I'll know tomorrow. But they'll walk around. I know the number. I know the number. We don't know shit. It is amazing to see how much these people are so in over their heads. They have no clue what their job is. The terminologies in which their job that they need to know on a day-to-day basis, they have no freaking clue. The laws, they have no freaking clue. The rules that are out there, they have no freaking clue. How the government works, they have no freaking clue. You're sitting there like, how the fuck do you consider yourself qualified? What is I promise you, this is what I want to hear from somebody as a senator or representative. I don't care who you are, Democrat, Independent, don't give a shit. Ask them, what does merit mean? Don't give me an example of whom you think is merit. Tell me, what does merit mean to you? And ask one of the dumbest ones of them all, Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, Howard Lutnick. Ask them. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I know she'll give you a wing ding of a one, but I'm telling you, she'll go, this is the Jewish space laser lady. Ask her, what does merit mean? I promise you they will get it wrong. I promise you. Say, don't give me no examples of whom you think has the merit. Don't tell me you think Trump has it. You think somebody has it. No. What does the definition of the word mean? I guarantee you, most of them won't get it. Because their mind is stuck on being white. They've been fed that over and over and over and over again. They done had it at their meetings and shit like that. Things if you've seen Charlie Kirk and his little conferences, when they talk about merit, they're always bringing up examples of, if I saw somebody black doing this, I'd be kind of worried about the merit. Every culture, they'll bring that up. Mostly black and mostly women, but they'll say, I don't trust it. And that black woman or whatever it may be, I look at them and I'm saying, I think how hard they had to work to get in that position. I feel more safe that it's a black woman because I know she worked 10 times, 100 times, like black people have all told their whole lives, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times harder than the average person. And then on top of that, than the best white person within the vicinity, they have to be better than that person. Way better. In order to even think that they're qualified for that position. And to feel like they're there. Not have this imposter syndrome. When they can look at that, what they done exalted to the best white guy and say, yeah, he is a dipshit. I know way more than him. Then they know they shit. That's when they strut. Like, shit, I got this on lock. How do you think black women went from the least educated to the most educated? You think that wasn't hard work? Dedication? Comparing themselves? Hell yeah, it was. And these idiots believe that they're just white. Then they got it. And this country's like that. Not every white person, but trust and believe if you're white, you have a better chance. Just having a white sounding name gives you a better chance. Hell, my name, Andrew, last name Weaver, sound like a white dude. I used to walk into interviews and they would be like, you're Andrew Weaver? I'm like, yeah, that's me. It is I. Hold on for a second. He walk out, there's a nigga out there. There's a black dude out. What the fuck? Hey, wait a minute. We didn't, nah. We didn't want him. Yeah, that's happened a few times. Mm-hmm. And that is a situation where my resume spoke louder than anybody's in the room. But my skin took all that away. For many job positions in my career. My name set me up for success. My skin destroyed that in many situations in my life. More than I would like to count. But these people in my room know more than they know about the government. Now, secret stuff, of course not, but I'm talking about how the government runs. They have no clue. They're learning on the job. They had all these complaints about the government, and then when they were given a chance to run it, they don't have no fucking clue. Ask the question, Blue? I asked you about a number. What the fuck is Blue got to do anything? It's crazy. We go see some more. Oh, your mom's last name was Weaver? Yeah, man. I got it from my dad. Yes, sir. All right, we gonna hear some more. I'm telling y'all, it was this black boy joy today. I was smiling from ear to ear as I was hearing these people get ate up. They would get ate up, I tell you. Oh man, stupidity was on display today. Stupidity was on display. It was like a smorgasbord of dumb shits. I was like, wow, I'll take one of them. I'll take one of them. Oh yeah, I don't want that one. Here comes another one. This was quite long. But y'all, we're going to go with the lady first. Representative Summer Lee, a brilliant sister, was speaking to the head of education, the Department of Education, Linda McMahon, the wrestling wife with no merit. She's a nomad. She's 100% nomad, and Representative Summer Lee is about to prove it to you. 100%. It's the funniest shit. One of the funniest things I saw today. The next one after this is hilarious as well because it's from the same party is doing it to him. So let's go.
I think that in very many ways we've been talking around a lot of the issues with this administration. So to be honest and to be very clear, I want to say that this administration has undoubtedly revived the culture of racism we haven't seen since the Jim Crow era. They've made it clear that open attacks on Black and brown and other marginalized communities is not just tolerated, but it's encouraged. So when they call for removing of equity and inclusion and diversity and accessibility from schools in favor of quote unquote traditional American values, it's indistinguishable from post-Civil War South advocating to rewrite history with the lost cause narrative to censor truths about slavery, or as they disappear students who write dissenting op-eds. It's reminiscent of the suppression of abolitionist newspapers. And this department's financial aid policies harken back to a time when higher education was reserved for affluent, well-connected, and predominantly white students. So I have some questions, about why this department is taking its leads from Jim Crow. Secretary McMahon, you've claimed that you want to drastically reduce the already very small federal role in education, and also that you will not cut Title I-A funding. That is still your position, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I'd like a yes or no answer. Do you believe your April 3rd attempt to revoke Title I-A funding from states unless they signed a certification of compliance with your political viewpoint was consistent with giving states more control over education?
There's been no reduction in funding for Title I-A.
As of now. There has not been yet. But again,
and it is not going forward in the budget.
So you believe okay. Yes or no, is Title I-A funding actually secure for every school district and state that currently receives it? Or is your goal to make Title I-A conditional on states refusing to provide students of color, LGBTQA students with disabilities, or other marginalized students opportunities to participate in diverse, inclusive, equitable, and accessible learning environments?
No, that's what I answered. I-A funding is intact.
Okay. So let's talk about so-called illegal DEI, as you all have called it, a phrase you've continually bring up, that I'm still unclear on, especially after 3 federal judges have preliminarily ruled that your illegal DEI guidance is likely unconstitutional and unenforceable, illegal, as it were. Secretary McMahon, during your confirmation hearing, you were asked by Senator Chris Murphy if an African-American history class violated the administration's position on diversity, equity, and inclusion. You said you'd like to look into it. You've been on the job for a few months now. Have you been able to look into it?
I do not think that African studies or Middle East studies or Chinese studies are part of DEI if they are taught as part of the total history package. So that if you're giving the facts on both sides, of course they're not DEI.
I don't know what both sides of African-American history would be.
Well, if African-American history is part of
Certainly,
history,
but what we recognize
it's being
throughout
taught
what we recognize throughout education is that a course is only 1 year or one semester. It would be impossible to teach African history and say European history at the same time. Do you not agree that it makes sense that there would be separate courses for these courses of study? It has happened throughout history. We're able to do it not just in history courses. We're able to do it with different types of literature courses or different types of music courses. One wouldn't learn about Baroque music and necessarily have to also learn about African drumming at the same time, right? We can separate those courses.
Yes, we can. And I think just as we teach U.S. history as a separate course.
Certainly. So you do not agree. So you do agree that African American cultures and African history should not be eliminated from courses, particularly AP African history.
Well, I think that African history can certainly be taught and not be considered a DEI course.
Oh, thank you. I have a few other examples that I would like your thoughts on. Simple.
Before we get all the way through this sister's on point. I'm proud of her, but I have to admit, I don't know if it's just me getting older, but sister's speaking at a speed my brain is trying to stretch to comprehend. I mean, I understand the words coming out of her mouth. But that shit is rapid fire. She looking at her time and she talking, blah, 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 just knocking them out the park. I know I would have flipped over at least 75 of those words what she just said if it was coming out of my mouth. Because I mean, like, damn, this girl is going at it. And I love it because she put the pressure on. Linda McMahon, I promise you, Linda McMahon left this room, got home, laying in the bed, and just understood what this sister just said. I promise you. What the? She asked me? I promise you. Let's go.
Yes or no. If this is a legal DEI, an example, would you say that it would be an illegal DEI for a lesson plan on the Tulsa Race Massacre?
I'd have to get back to you on that.
Do you know what the Tulsa Race Massacre is?
I'd like to look into it more and get back to you on it.
Okay, so I look forward to that.
She doesn't know what the Tulsa Race Massacre was. She doesn't know. You're the head of the Department of Education. The word education is in the term of your job. No merit administration. She has no idea, okay, at all about the Tulsa Massacre. Black Wall Street, nada. She could not comprehend that. She said, I have to get back to you on that. Really? You're the head of education and talking about history and different types of studies, and you can't determine basic American history. Because I'm going to give it to you straight. As a black man that's been living in this country his entire fucking life, I'm a descendant of enslaved people. American history is my history. There really is no separation. It's just black people that were here, or African people, or indigenous people. We are American. We came here. So it's American history to talk about all of our histories. Now, if you want to get specific and just talk about the American perspective of African American perspective on the history, meaning like how we saw the world as it was going on, but the facts don't change. It would be our perception of how everything worked with us. I get. Same thing with different European, the Russians who came later, Irish, Italian, the natives, indigenous. We all were going through the same things at the same time in many ways, but the enslaved was different, right? But those particular Chicano, you want to know, Chinese, you want to know that perspective? Yes, that's a specialty. Go learn that particular thing to learn all of what went down and their writings, the way they did their hair, the reasons why they did certain things. That's perfect. But when they talk about U.S. history, that's all of us, baby. They try to say U.S. history is just European shit. No, not at all. U.S. history is all of our history. Everybody who came here been here since the beginning. That's all of our history. And so when they define these things, it really, to me, it kind of irks me, because it's like you're trying to separate American history and silo it everywhere else, because there's no such thing really as white history, because again, it's Europeans, it's Irish, it's Italian, it's Russian, and after that, American, depending on when you came here, Jewish, American, right? So that's the real understanding of what's going on. But I digress. I'll let them continue, but it just bothers me when people try to segregate certain things, when in all honesty, American history is all of our history from the beginning. 250 years almost. It's 249, I think, now, right? About to be. Correct me if I'm wrong.
How about the book Through My Eyes by Ruby Bridges, for instance?
I haven't read that.
Have you learned about Ruby Bridges?
So if you have specific examples you'd like
That
to
was a
cite,
specific example.
I'll be very happy.
It was
for
an
you-
incredibly
for
specific
you to-
example.
Now, let me get this right now. I understand her not reading that book. I get that. I mean, not everybody has the same taste in books and things like that. Now, if it's a book that's like, I think what she's talking about, that has been banned, then this lady should have read that. Because why would you justify banning a book that you never read based off of what? Somebody else's opinion? If you banned a book, you should know, ma'am, why it's banned. And if you don't know the entire book, you should have the excerpt in which caused the ban. I mean, it's just being prepared for your job. I get it. But I can understand her not reading that book. But her not knowing who Ruby Bridges is, I mean, come on. Come on. It's a famous picture that was taken of the sister, okay? She's still alive, okay? I mean, it's not hard. There's only so many of our great historical figures still alive. And I don't mean by our like being just black. I'm talking about American. There's only so many of them left. And this lady doesn't know the ones that are still living and breathing. And she's a part of education. I mean, why can't we find people who are qualified for their freaking job? It's not hard. There is somebody, white, Latin, Asian, alien, somebody that knows the job that should be there. I don't care if it's a Republican. You have a right to pick whoever you want, but come on, man. People who have not even a modicum of education toward the area in which she's in. And we're going to go a little bit into that right after this. We got about 30 seconds.
Submit
I named
those
a
in your
specific book.
questions, and I will look into it and get back to you on
Thank
them. I
you.
look
How about
forward
a
to answering them
school
directly.
having a voluntary celebration for Pride Month?
Well, I think that,
Voluntary.
well, let's make sure that in our schools.
This is yes or no?
We're looking, no, it's not.
Okay. How about social studies standards that teach that President Biden won the 2020 election?
I think our studies should all be taught accurately.
Yes or no?
I think our studies should.
No.
be taught
The
accurately.
question was, do you believe that social studies standards that teach that President Biden won the 2020 election is an illegal DEI? Yes or no?
She's going in on her, man. She's going in on her. Now, I promise you, I was laughing throughout this because I was like, this lady is a nitwit. I mean, just nothing. She knows nothing about history. And I promise you, even if you brought up just the way she responds to things, even if you brought up people who weren't black and talked about their history, she wouldn't have a clue. I don't put her as a person who knows about history at all or education. And the reason why I say this is because Linda McMahon was over wrestling. Linda McMahon has never in her lifetime been an educational teacher. Now, She went to a college, I think it was called ECU or something like that. East Carolina University, something like that. It's in Greenville, North Carolina. Greenville. Is it North Carolina or South? Anyway, Greenville. And her education was her major was in French to teach French. You see, she's not a French teacher. She was in wrestling, nor was French used in wrestling. She knows nothing about education. Now, when I went to school, and she went before me, this is a lot more seasoned than me. I went to school, getting these particular degrees, 4 years in learning to speak another language. What was those jobs? When we were younger, we were like, so you really don't know what you want to be. Because you have no clue what you want to be. Because going to school to literally learn a language for 4 years, I mean, there were books for that shit. There were CDs for that. I mean, back on America Online, AOL, you could literally go on there, download an app, or not even download an app, but go on a website, even though you had all that shit, you can go on and learn how to speak a language. You're telling me you spent 4 years, tens of thousands of dollars to learn French. Those were the ones where you're like, I really don't know what to do. Because becoming a French teacher, you're going to have to continue more than just college. You got to continue going on, right? Or at least teach some people. There's no record, not that she didn't do it. She doesn't have it on her record that she didn't do it, that she did it. So she never taught. So we got a woman who went to a okay college, even okay. It's out of 436 universities, it ranked 189, right? So she didn't go to a top tier school, which doesn't always have to be. Don't get me wrong. But judging on how she answered these questions, when it comes to the profession that she is actually in right now, she's not qualified. By far not qualified. So how is she making the decisions for people who love education? For people who that is their world, right? There are people who are students for life. Y'all know some of them. They all went to school ever since they were a little kid. Everybody went. Then it's like went to college. Then after they graduated from college, instead of getting another job, they went to another college, went to the same college or a different college for a master's degree. They continue now and got a doctorate degree. Then they continue to get another master's degree in something else and another. They're just career students. And ain't nothing wrong with that if you're using it to better yourself and learn a lot of different things and you got the money for it. Ain't nobody got no problems with it. But the reality is she wasn't that. She doesn't love education. So how in the hell are you're the head of it? And then you ask yourself a question. If you are a billionaire, why do you want to be in positions of places that, I mean, come on. I'm not a billionaire, right? But my mindset, if I'm a billionaire from doing wrestling, right? And entertainment, why on earth would I want to leave entertainment and joy and making a bunch of cash doing it? Writing scripts and having people fall all over the place and hitting them with chairs and all this shit. Building up character, all that. To go sit at a desk behind a door determining what type of money people receive for education. She doesn't have a passion for this. So why would a billionaire put themselves in a place of working like a common person? They have to have strong beliefs about how a system's working or not working and think that they got the answer. So she's in there to starve it of the money that it has. I guarantee you, if they ask her ideology on education, they need to break these people down fully. Instead of asking them about, the gotcha questions, ask them really, Miss, what's her name again? Linda McMahon. Why do you think you're the best person for this job? What motivates you every day to come in and make decisions about our future children and future leaders? What is it about that you see yourself being a major part of? What is your ideology on education? Do we need it? Or is it something that you believe that people could just be worker bees? Do you believe that we should have a government that actually provides education for their kids? Or should the parents or other people be responsible for their kids' education only? Should Americans not invest in their children? These are the questions I think they should be asking them, because I get a feeling that these billionaires being put in place of programs that take our tax dollars and spend it on those who don't necessarily have the funds to get into these, I think they're pissed off that their money is going to these educational programs and they're trying to rob them of resources so that they can take some of their money back, even though they're not even paying their fair share as it is. That's what I believe it is. Because I don't see all these billionaires getting these positions actually giving a fuck about people when they don't even talk about how they've helped people in their normal life. They don't talk about how much money they've donated. They don't talk about how many communities they went to and fed. They don't talk about that shit. So I don't believe it's a part of their heart or their spirit. They're coming from a different angle. Their angle is to starve these people of education so they're worker bees and I can stay rich. I don't want them becoming smarter than me or my kids. I want them to stay down here and give my kids, my family, the advantage forever. I don't think they have the middle class or anybody below their wealth class in mind. Because none of her kids, I'm sure, not unless she got rich later on in life, went to these public schools. They paid for everything. They wanted a higher echelon. They want us to starve out and put our kids wherever the hell we put them. In a cardboard box, if you could. That's the way I see them. So I don't know. I don't get it when they want to do everyday man and woman jobs. I would rather a teacher be in that position, an ex-principal of a college or school or a dean be in that position, because they've given their lives to education, to being teachers, to being leaders, being counselors. They see where the world is going. They have a better understanding of where our education is and where it needs to be to compete. And also for our kids to have a better life. They see the future, right? Where's the world going next? If it's going AI, a teacher, right? A principal, a counselor, supervisor of some sort understands that better than anyone. They've been in the system. They understand it. You got a woman that was, the last job she had was managing wrestlers. Do you not see the idiocy in that? You can't think about it for yourself. If you owned a business, ladies and gentlemen, and you wanted that business to thrive, in this situation, American citizens of business, the Americans is the business. And if you want Americans to thrive, you will get them the absolute best. If they wanted their kids to thrive, they're giving them the best student, the best teacher, the best whatever, the trainer, so that their kids can go up. Why are they giving you, America, their absolute worst in the positions that they're in? They're not giving you qualified people, which tells you they're not invested in you. Because I don't know about you, But if my kids wanted to fly planes, I am not going out there and finding them a bargain-based pilot that has never flown a plane, but he's read a lot of fucking books about it. I am not going to get that person to teach my kid no matter how poor I am. I'm going to find a good pilot. So why are they getting you bargain basement people that have no clue about what they're doing and telling you they give a damn about you? They can't. You will get people, the American people, the best. And they're not doing that. So ask yourself, why, for MAGA and other people, why are they giving you the 99-cent store, quality education of people or quality positions, people in those positions? Why are they going to the absolute lowest to get that to you? That should tell you how much they really care about you, to be 100%. That should tell you. Now, Summer Lee lit into her, and I was loving it. I was loving it big time. One of the other things that I realized too, today that had me rolling, because another person who got lit up today was Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick got lit up by another Republican. Senator John Kennedy. Again, we're watching the entire thing because you want to see, because I've seen it cut up throughout the day, and sometimes they cut things up and kind of take it out of context. Like that one we saw with Summer Lee, they took it out of context in some situations. Like when she asked her, has she read this book? And then she got just frustrated about it. I'm like, why would you be frustrated, Summer Lee? You know damn well that white woman hadn't read that book. The question should have been, which came up later, was that, do you know who Ruby Bridges is? Bridges is. And that should have been the question. So I understand her not knowing that book. But if it's been, and then on top of that, if it's been banned, which I think it has been, then she, maybe she did say it, but I don't remember her saying it. She should have led with that. One of the books that's got banned is this book from Ruby Bridges. So you need to know that if you're coming to a room to tell people why you're banning things. So I get that, but it was out of context. It made it sound like she should have known this book. Like they supposed, it was like in the syllabus before she came. She was just too lazy to read it. So I give people the benefit of the doubt when a question is kind of tricky, but all the rest of it, this woman should have known. But anyway, this right here coming from Senator John Kennedy, y'all. That's funny, Krista. She said Timu government. I think that's a slight to Timu, to be quite honest. Although, I ain't gonna lie, I bought some stuff. I was gonna do like reviews because I'm a technology lover, y'all. I've been in technology since I was a little kid, right? Writing code and zeros and ones back in the day. For those who know COBOL, right? I did Wang. I worked on what Wang 2200 VS80. I know for some of y'all gonna be like, oh my damn, he worked on that. He's a dinosaur. Shut up. So anyway, so I've been in this for a long time. So I was gonna check and see, just buy products just because I want these little gadgets and they were kind of cheap. I'm like, let me question, see what they are. I was gonna do a little show about it. I bought this camera, 4K. I'm like, all right, cool. Took pictures with it, kind of okay, right? Took the video, trash, complete trash. I was like, man, I'm too factual. These companies be pissed off. I'll make it show up like this shit ain't it. Nope, straight facts is whack. They be like, dude, I don't like you. The company that is. Everybody else will love me because I'm like, don't spend your money on this shit. Because when I saw people doing it, I saw it a few people, and this one girl is one I ended up buying it from. It was a link on her, and she was glorifying the hell out of it. And I was like, sister tricked me. So I know they would hate me because I'd be like, nah, don't get it. If you're going to get it as like a centerpiece, like like little trinkets. You like cameras, just set it up on your wall. Similar to what I did to it. I put it back there. You can see it, that thing right there. Yeah. I don't even touch it anymore. They collect dust. It's useless, but it's good as far as like picture. But anyway, getting back to it, T-Boo, you threw me off. It's okay. The next thing is Senator John Kennedy. Let's get it.
Mr. Secretary, I think I'm like most Americans. I
Howard Lutnick.
agree with some of the things that you and the White House have done on tariffs, disagree with others. It's clear to me that the president listens to your advice about tariffs. So I want to spend my precious time trying to understand how you think. If Vietnam, for example, came to you tomorrow and said, okay, Mr. Secretary, you win. We're going to remove all tariffs and all trade barriers. Would the United States please do the same? Would you accept that deal?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That would be the silliest thing we could do.
Why is that?
Vietnam has a $125 billion exports to us and imports from us $12.5 million. And you're thinking, Vietnam exports $125 billion?
I'm aware of the figures, but tell me.
But where
why
do they get it from? They buy $90 billion from China, then they mark it up and send it to us.
So you
They're
wouldn't-
just a
you wouldn't-
pathway.
So hold it. He's pissed off that he's buying something from Vietnam, and that Vietnam figured out that they can buy it from China for cheaper and then sell it to America for more money, for a profit. So you're mad at Vietnam for doing the exact same thing that America does to the American. It's this country ran by these types of people is so fucking hypocritical. You pissed off that Korea or Vietnam is buying said products, which I don't believe that's fully true, because most of what we get from Vietnam is clothing and different things of that nature, and they do manufacture those things on a large scale. So it's not like they don't have these products themselves. So I don't know where he's getting that from, and I give him the benefit of the doubt. He's in the position, but if you go look it up yourself, what we get from Vietnam, and he was talking about himself, is like depends on the product itself. If you're talking about clothing and shoes, that's the cheapest place to get it and make it. There's a reason for that. We have actual deals with Vietnam for these things because China, it costs more, right, than Vietnam. That's why we have the deal with Vietnam. It's what he's saying sounds like he's pissed off that they're making profit and that they're trying their damnedest to make everybody else hurt while we win. And that's not like fair trading. That's like trying to put people below you on purpose. So it's like this greed thing. And what Senator John Kennedy is talking about is reciprocity. You be fair to me, I'll be fair to you. And this dude's like, nah, fuck that. We're America. We got so much money that we ain't got to be fair to nobody. They got to bow down to us. And the country, not only the country, the world is saying, fuck you, America, under these people. The Republicans and Maga running. They said, fuck y'all. We don't need y'all that much. We're just trying to be fair trading here. And that's what you see where Senator John Kennedy starts it off by saying, I want to know where your mind is at. Because listen to what he said at the very beginning. I might play it over and after the end of it, I'll play it at the beginning again. But he says Donald Trump is getting his ideas about trade from you. You see how he put Howard Lutnick in front of Trump and realizing that Trump don't know what the fuck he's doing. If he thought Trump was good at trade, he wouldn't say that Donald Trump is receiving information from you about trades. Because he knows Donald Trump is an idiot. He knows Donald Trump don't understand this shit at all. He still thinks tariffs are not taxes. They had to keep telling him that tariffs are taxes. He slipped up once and said, tariff, right? Howard Lutnick, he puts him in front and says, he's getting his information from you. And now he's discrediting Howard Lutnick by saying, what do you mean? You don't want reciprocation? You don't want the reciprocity? Then what the fuck are you trying to tell Trump to do? Still putting it on Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick, Scott Bessent, you guys are trapped rats. You are trapped rats. This shit goes left or right, it is all on your shoulders. All on your shoulders. And trust me, all of this is going to fall apart. Because neither of those two men have the merit for the position that they're in. We'll see.
China to us.
You wouldn't accept that deal.
No, it's a terrible deal. We're the one with money. We're the one with the
then
store. Of course they want us to take
what's
down.
the purpose of reciprocity then? Is reciprocity not one of your goals? Are you telling the president that we shouldn't seek reciprocity? If that's what you're telling him, why are you trying to do these trade deals?
What do we want? We want to encourage Vietnam to produce products they're great at producing.
But I want to get back to reciprocity. You just said you don't believe in you don't accept reciprocity as a goal. Well,
Love how he cut him off. He's like, man, I want to hear that shit. Don't be trying to, Trump me. Shit, I don't look like Trump to you. I'm smarter than Trump. So get back to the lecture at hand. And my man is like, okay. Senator Kennedy. I don't like Senator Kennedy at all. But the fact is, he's right. And this is what I love about it. This right here is like, a cat fight. It's going back and forth. And my man like, don't be giving me that shit. If anything, Democrats, learn from Mr. Kennedy here how to address these idiots. This is how you do it. Like Montel Williams. Or is it Montel Williams? No, Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. Montel Williams had the TV show. But this is how you do it. Light into them. Not necessarily to be disrespectful. Just light into them and like make them feel and seem stupid. Because that's what this man just did. Masterclass and making Howard Lutnick look like a complete dumbass. And we ain't done.
what are you negotiating in these trade deals?
Why would we open our bank account and their bank account when
Why are
ours is
you
10 times
negotiating
bigger?
trade deals? You're trying to get other countries to lower their tariffs and trade barriers in return for us lowering ours.
Reciprocity.
I
Well,
think
that's true for the things that they'll take from us.
That's called reciprocity.
Of course.
So are you or are you not?
He said, of course. How the hell are you saying of course when he told you before that we want to bring our trade deals and everything like that down to basically, if Vietnam, I'm saying bring it down to basically nothing, then we'll bring ours basically to nothing. We basically have free trade. That's reciprocity. He didn't say those words. He described what reciprocity was. And this man said, no, that would be the dumbest idea. And now he's flipping out like, wait a minute. I just said reciprocity. That's the definition of it, fool. The definition of what I just said earlier is reciprocity that you said wouldn't be the thing I would do. Now Lutnick is saying, well, of course.
Seeking reciprocity in these trade deals.
We are absolutely seeking reciprocity with respect to things that can be reciprocal.
But you just said,
but when they're
that
importing
if a
from
country-
China and sending it to us,
You just
they're
said that
not.
if a country came to you and offered you the ultimate reciprocity, no tariffs, no trade barriers, in return for us doing the same, you would reject that.
Of course, because they buy from China and send it to us. Don't you agree with
Suppose
me?
they said we won't buy from China.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. If
you
it was Vietnam,
would you accept that deal?
we would consider it for what things? For
What would
products?
you want to change?
Well, there are certain products we want to reshore. We don't want other people making them. We want to make pharmaceuticals here.
right.
We need to protect
All right,
ourselves for
let
certain
me ask you
things.
this, because I'm going to run out of time.
Now, with him saying that, again, and look at. I'm glad I paused it right there. Representative John Kennedy, this dude is going through it. He's like, oh, fuck, this dude's stupid. Oh, it's hurting me. Why in the hell do we have him in this position? Oh, did we let him go through? Oh my God, we done fucked up. Look at him, he can't handle it. He's like, oh shit. It is putting a lot of pressure on him right now that this dude doesn't know the basics of tariffs and trades. Doesn't know. He's literally asking him, why are you in this tariff war if you really don't want reciprocity? Because remember, old school Republicans, their main thing, and Democrats as well, their main thing was, free trade. That was their major thing. Now, you don't know what a Republican wants because they're all MAGA. Because he just described free trade, which was the whole thing that Republicans wanted back in the day, and even Democrats, like I said, because of NAFTA and other bills that were done in the 80s with Reagan, they wanted it. That's how they made so much money off these other countries, right? Sent it overseas. It was cheaper to make. It came here. It was cheaper to receive. Then they sell it to us and other people for extraordinary amounts, and they'd made a shitload of money because we're a consumer country. That is the game plan. That's how they're becoming billionaires. That's why we have partners and where we're going to do the same thing that he was talking about that Vietnam is doing. Buying it from Vietnam, from China, and all other places, wherever, Brazil, even in America, if it's cheap, and reselling it to each other. So therefore, through a system, just like Amazon, but Amazon doesn't pay you unless you're part of their program, and they can kick you out and all that shit. Fuck all that. We're going to be making money by doing exactly what we should be doing, making America work for all the people and not just the billionaires. In fact, we're kicking the billionaires out of the whole process. No investing. Can't invest in this. You just invest in yourself by just buying and getting paid to do so. We'll talk about that this Saturday. It's called Project Infinity, and the program is called Partners. So we all become partners, but we'll explain that later. But this has got this man perplexed. Kennedy is so perplexed that this man in front of him is leading these tariffs, and the ultimate reciprocity he doesn't want unless China's not involved. They are so butthurt by China taking the scraps and turning it into a gold mansion. They are so pissed off at this country by us giving them our trash and them turning it into gold. We were giving them pennies on a dollar to make shit. They thought that these Chinese people way back 40, 50 years ago who were slave labor, and we would put it in the news like every so often, investigative reporting that they had 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds making our Nikes and Jordans and Reeboks and, Kangols and all that shit. And we'd have it on the news like, oh, yeah. And then they stopped getting it made there and take it to another sweatshop. They had these people working their butts off for pennies, right? And then China figures out, you know what? 40, 50 years of building technology. They're squeezing blood out of a fucking turnip. They're squeezing it. Then they come up with technology. That's why they advanced in technology way beyond us. Robots were built in China way before they were built here. Their robots are just insane. But they built that for technology, for business, and was able to take an industry where they're getting scraps and turn it into a crazy amount of money. So much so, the country where we sent our scraps to make a crap ton of money, they figured out how to turn $1 out of 15 cents. In America, most of these white billionaire men are pissed off that they figured out a way instead of staying poor like they wanted them to stay. Now they want these industries back because they want to take the power away from China. They're afraid of China becoming this mega power that's way above us. They're afraid of China taking our place, and rightfully so, because you took your eye off the ball, America. Specifically, the white, powerful presidents and vice presidents and all that. They took their eye off the ball. There was one black president. Took the eye off the ball. Looking at China as if, they're not a competition, not at all. And them saying, just chugging away, day by day, doing what they got to do to survive. And then, what? They thrived. Now, Howard Lutnick is pissed off. Trump is pissed off. They're eating our lunch. They're taking our lunch, whatever they give the scenarios. And it's like, the only reason they can do it is because you open the door for it. And the only reason why they opened the door is because you was too greedy. You gave our jobs away. made us a consumer country based off the fact that you took all the production out of it and the manufacturing out of it. We didn't have a choice. Americans wanted to keep that, but you rich billionaires wanted to take it. These people make $1 out of 15 cents. You're pissed off now because where's everything at? Because now the world needs manufacturing. And they become very wealthy and very educated and spend a lot of money on their people to the point they're not sweatshops anymore. Even though there's a semblance of the sweatshop. It's just that these people live at their jobs now as opposed to going home. And they're not 10-year-olds. They're like college age, from teenage to college age, living in dorms and working. Regardless, they figured it out. America's pissed off. And that's what Howard Lutnick is like. Everything China, everything China. And I'm like, dude, if China's always on your mind, you're in trouble. Howard Lutnick, Trump, all of them. China's always on their mind because they know, just like I said before, most people didn't know it, these countries are getting shit from China. That's why China, Japan, Korea all had these meetings, because they are the largest manufacturing countries in the world. Japan, China, and Korea. Vietnam's one of them. They weren't at that meeting. 3 major mass production countries came together, and Trump can't get them on the phone. I think he got Japan on the phone, but still, there's 3 juggernauts that got together. Trump can't do it, Mr. I can make deals. Idiots.
Are trade deficits, are you advising the president that trade deficits are always bad in every situation?
No.
Okay. When are trade deficits good?
Trade deficits, for instance, let's say there was a company that had the cure for cancer. Let's call it Cancer Cure. And we were buying it and it was located in another country.
Hey, Alice.
We would obviously have a trade deficit with them because they have the only one of it. An example, our technology companies, our great technology companies, we're the only ones
So a
with
trade
it.
deficit is okay if they're products we really need.
If they're the only ones with it and we can't do it, then of course it's fine. But if we can do it, then we darn well better think about whether we're supposed to do it and whether we want to do it and if it's in our interest as a country to do
Here's
it.
where I'm getting at. I've heard you say that strike that. I want to go. I'm running out of time. I want to.
What he's trying to get to this guy is saying, like, yo, you just said that you didn't want these trade deals based off of, of reciprocity. But he also, this Howard Lutnick said, reciprocity on what products? So you're trying to get down to the finite product itself that you want to have a particular issue with. Do you know how long that would take for every country? Longer than Donald Trump's got left on this earth, right? And he's talking about they're going to do this within one presidency. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What he wants is highly impossible, not improbable, impossible to happen. Because first you got to get all these people at the same table, right? Which would be Trump's table. Try to get them to the table to try and work some stuff out. He's talking about Vietnam getting stuff from China and selling it to America. You have to get Vietnam and China in the same room saying, okay, we ain't going to have those deals together. You think Vietnam's going to fuck over China when they need China to get their own products? I mean, you just said that Vietnam doesn't buy enough from us. So if they don't buy enough from us, like in the billions, while we're like hundreds of billions, if they don't buy enough from us, that means we need them more than they need us. And if you ain't got a deal with China, then you really don't have a deal with Vietnam. Because you got to think about it. If they're selling us hundreds of billions of dollars worth of product and we're only getting like $12 billion from them or whatever you said the numbers were, right? Think about China. You think that Vietnam's going to go to China and say, hey, China, America don't want us to, buy products from you anymore. We got to cut you out on that. Oh, really? Okay, cool. So go ahead and do that. And the stuff that you need for your time, you might as well just ask them for that too, because we don't need it. Say what? You mean we sell them $100-something billion worth of stuff, and we get a lot of it from you. Not anymore. You don't. You think they're gonna fuck themselves over when they got a bigger deal coming from China? I mean, see, it's like they haven't thought this through. You really think Vietnam, if it's true what Howard Lutnick is saying, that they buy a lot of their products from China and sell it to us at a higher markup, then if that's the case, ask China to make it for you, Howard Lutnick, and you don't have to go through another person who marks up and you get that price from China. Oh, you can't do that because you've been fucking over China. I mean, these dudes don't know how to win, Jack. It just doesn't make any sense. You're trying to force one country that relies on a bigger country to get out of a relationship with them and do what? Get into a relationship with you? Well, you don't make enough of what they need. That's the reason why they don't buy a lot from us. That's the reason why when you look in their homes, none of our shit is there, because the shit that we have doesn't translate to the shit they have. You're asking about an Asian country to another Asian country. It is just highly sensible that one Asian country and another Asian country have more in common than an American country, than America. Types of foods they eat are very similar, not the same, but very similar. And yet they're going to buy it from America when they can get it from another country that produces the same quality that they like, and not all these, processed BS that America has. They're going to send it overseas. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. These people are talking out the side of their neck, acting like they have a better understanding of these trade deals than the people who've been in them forever. Howard Lutnick is not a trade person. That's not his background. He's like a broker. He works with different people. Like he's like the in-between man, having no idea what trade and tariffs are all about. It blows your mind. They should be throwing up the white flag and saying, you know what, I'm done, yo. I want to go back to trading futures or whatever. Put somebody in this position to know what the fuck they're doing, because I sure as hell don't. Because y'all supposed to have 90 deals in 90 days, and you have none. They say you have 1.5, but you really don't have a deal. You have a structure for a deal, so you have none. These people.
Come back to another subject. Tell me your understanding of the Trade Expansion Act.
I don't have a really good understanding of the term. I may know the act, but I may not know its title.
You're not familiar with the Trade Expansion Act of 1962 that gives the president almost unlimited authority to impose tariffs so long as you conduct an investigation? You don't know about that?
Oh, my 232s. Of course I do.
He knows 232s, but he doesn't know the Trade Expansion Act, which is not, that's 232s is not the full part of the act. It includes the 232, a different provision that's still relevant today that allows the president to restrict imports for national security reasons. Well, we don't have any national security reasons right now. None. They're doing this shit just off the top of their dome. There's some other facetious reason why they're doing this. It is not about national security. Like, what is the threat? What are we worried about? They have yet to say it. Right? Now, you also got to know, this ticked me off because I went and looked it up. This clause was put into place. This the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. This bill was put into place or passed under the administration of President John F. Kennedy. Now, it's because of the EU at the time, which was a European was an economic community, which later became the European Union. They started changing trade deals. And so because of that turbulent trade deal changes, the way our country's set up, we had to go to Congress, which took a long time to go through Congress to go through Democrat, Republican, back and forth, deciding and determining whether we can throw tariffs back on to other countries, that John F. Kennedy's administration, Democrats, y'all own this shit. But at that time, they created it so that the president can do deals swiftly, because the European Union was already doing deals, and they don't have the same, bureaucracy that America had to go through. So this was kind of like to streamline it. Now, that still being into place, they threw in some other aspects of it, the 232, which, again, they had to go through these clauses and make sure that it was a security reason, a national security reason, and that the Senate and the House of Congress had to make a decision. The purse is always the House's, and they had to pass that. And that's what he's asking about. And Howard Lutnick knew none of it. Knew none of it. He just knew, like, the footnotes. Oh, you're talking about my 232s. Well, it's more than 232s. That's just a section of it. And he don't know anything about it other than the section. Ill prepared. Ill prepared. Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, I just didn't know the title of the plan,
Yeah.
but of course I know.
Why didn't you advise the White House, instead of proceeding under other statutes? Why didn't you advise the White House to proceed under the Trade Expansion Act?
The president chose IEPA because he could do it swiftly and he could do it sweeping in order to address the underlying problems that had created the $1.2 trillion trade deficit that was haunting the United States of America.
Have you read the opinion in VOS selections, VUS?
I have.
What role does the major questions doctrine play in that decision?
I am not a lawyer, so I can't speak to it with that kind of precision. That's a litigation that's under current investigation.
Are you familiar with the major questions doctrine?
Not offhand, but I did, of course, read the decision.
Well, about 3/4 of the opinion is on the major questions doctrine.
Again, I tend to not know the title. I know the topic and the details of it, but I tend not to focus on titles. Sorry.
I'm way over. Mr. Secretary, I think I'm like,
So that right there is the end of it. He's way over. He had to end it. But they would have gave him, they let him go over. They didn't even mention it. You notice how Republicans, if it was a Democrat asking these questions, of course, the Democrat would have been lighting into his ass. Like, you don't know? Look at that. They would have been going off on it. He was asking from the same party. This guy who ran that room, this meeting today, allowed this man to go way over his minutes. You notice at the end when he said his question, Senator John Kennedy could have kept asking questions. They didn't stop him. These Republicans love the fact that this man is literally speaking up for them and will allow him to continue. He chose not to, and he said, I'm way over. They would have let him ask the other question that he had before. If you had saw this full video prior to this starting, the person who was running this meeting said, oh, yes, the next person we're going to have is Senator John Kennedy. And I've been waiting to hear what he has to say. He was all excited. I think this is going to be interesting. So he already knew, because he's a Republican, that he was going to ask these questions and therefore did not shut him up. And I wish he had kept going. Another 10 minutes, I don't give a damn about the rules. Keep going, because this dude had no way of answering these questions. Now, he mentioned to him the major questions doctrine. Howard Lutnick knew none of it, right? He said he read the entire, not the entire thing, but he read the decision, but he didn't read the whole thing, right? So he said, but wait a minute, the entire 3/4 of it is about, what went on, the questions, and you read it and you don't know anything about the questions. It's 3/4 of the whole damn ruling, right? So he knew the guy had not read it. Footnotes. I'm telling you, these people read footnotes. They have no fucking clue. They're not prepared for the position, right? So we're going to read at its core what this doctrine says, which is a major questions doctrine. And It says, and I quote, when an administration agency wants to make a big society shifting decision, especially one with vast political or economic consequences, it needs clear, and this is bold, clear and explicit authorization from Congress. No guesswork, no creative interpretations, no executive overreach disguised as regulation. Unquote. He asked him, you don't know that you're supposed to come to Congress to be able to do the stuff you guys been doing? That's what the Supreme Court has been saying. That's what Democrats have been saying. And he brought out the actual rule in the government about it tells them what they can and cannot do. So he just told him, you don't understand that you're breaking the major questions doctrine in a ruling that was made. And you're telling us that it's in litigation. You don't know all of it. Sir, you don't know none of it. You just know it's in opposition of what Trump is doing, and therefore it is in litigation. Is all you need to say. Again, we have nomads running the government. Those who've been here long enough and heard me say it, nomads means no merit administration. They're nomads. They have no clue what they're doing. And this right here that's why I showed you guys the entire thing, because I wanted to see it in context, and I want you to see the frustration on a Republican senator, John Kennedy, how he could not fathom that this is the guy giving Donald Trump advice. It broke his brain that he had to sit there and hold his hand in his head, not once, but a few times, because he couldn't gather this guy is in a position of power and giving advice, and that Representative John Kennedy and his cohorts placed this man in the position in which he's in, qualified him to be able to do it. Just insane. So those are the things that happened today. That it was funny, but it was sad at the same time. The things that he was saying, like I said, they get butthurt about China. Howard Lutnick everything was like, he's talking about Vietnam, things we get through Vietnam, like our shoes, even our cheap shoes, even our more expensive shoes, like Jordans, or some of them are done in China, in Vietnam. Some of the clothing that we do is in Vietnam. So he's butthurt when he's talking about Vietnam. He brings up, well, they buy their stuff from China and then sell it to us. We're still giving China money. They're pissed off that China made deals without them. Like, who are you? You're America. You make your own deals. I thought you guys were deal makers. You're pissed off that China figured some shit out? I mean, come on, man. Outsmart them. Figure out some other plans. But going around telling everybody, you can't give it to them. You got to give it to us. We're going to throw these crazy tariffs at you. Now here. And China's not even flinching. They're like, that's sad. Thought y'all was powerful. You crying about tariffs, man? Really? Come on, man. Get your game up. You out here crying about shit. You had the same 40, 50 years that we had. We didn't get no extra 40 years. Got the same amount of years. You just sat on your ass and was lazy. We worked the entire 40 years, 50 years. Figured it out. Made technology. You guys are catching up. You know how bad it is? How fast China is ahead of us? And it ain't even just the country. It's the people. The people in that country see that America has put on the brakes. They have not even put on the brakes. They put on cruise control. Fell asleep at the wheel. And pissed off at these people because they stayed up and didn't sleep. The only way you can defeat this America is to work harder. Invest in your people like they did, and you can move forward. But by pissing them off and trying to kick out their scientists and all this stuff like that, if they don't give you what you need, that only destroys America. It does not destroy them. I thought you guys were supreme. I figured you could figure this all out. You should be smarter. China owns you because that supremacy shit doesn't exist. If you had actually did the homework, you wouldn't be in this position. You wouldn't have got rolled like you have. But the game ain't over. What you're doing right now is some desperate shit that ain't gonna work. Instead of closing down the Department of Education, you should be putting massive money into it and having people focus on specialties. How about if it's computer chips that you want, then why don't you make computer chip like colleges, technology colleges, that where you get the brightest students or who are good at technology, and you give them scholarships to said college so that they can become the brainiacs of this country and be able to build shit that's way beyond the technology of other people. Put the money within the people, American people, then you can grow it. Instead of calling American people stupid and average, how about you invest in them? See, these people that you find from other countries, their country invest in that particular area. Semiconductors, oh, India, China, oh, they invest in those people. You guys expect us to just get basic knowledge and somehow be worker bees. You don't think about us in our country having brilliant people in it, because we don't have the funding. There are bright kids right now in poor communities, no matter what race, that can't get the education nor get the opportunity. And that brilliant brain is being wasted because you, American leadership, are searching in some other country for brilliance that we already have. You haven't even tapped into the brilliance in this country. There is a gold mine, a plethora of gold nuggets in this country. Human beings that are beyond brilliant but don't have the means to be able to show you how brilliant they are. And you're going to other countries giving money to their kids to come here and be better than Americans. You don't care about Americans. If you did, you'd be going into the gold mine that's called America and finding brilliant people here and creating these types of colleges or technology, or even giving subsidies to colleges to just focus on the things that you want to be in the next frontier. If you want to be the master of technology, then you need to start investing in these colleges to start creating technology. Only focus on that area, put a lot of money in it, and get students who want to go to that college. Therefore, they know they're the part of the future. But no, you don't do that. You don't invest in your own people. You just want to rob from your people. Give me, give me, give me, give me. You give shit back. None of these plans or strategies they have for you or I and our children and our family. They have that. They just want more money so they can go spend money. We want to make it here, but you want to make it with robots and make Americans poor. Even more poor than you made them when you took their factories out of this country and gave them to China. You don't have America, and this is the executives and I'm going to say necessarily president, but in this situation, president, but the leaders in this country. You don't have the wherewithal to bring an executive, being the American, meaning me and you, everybody else, the American team together and help us win a championship. You don't have it. You can't coach the American people. You're focused on me, me, me. The we part hasn't got to you yet. If people in this country have pride in this country, and not that they hate anybody else, just have pride in being an American, then we will be investing in American brilliance. And you're trying not to do that by taking out the educational programs in our schools. You should be amping that up instead of cutting it down. It just proves you don't give a damn about the American people and how we can grow this country. You want us to become factory workers again. Instead of becoming leaders in technology and having so many bright people that we don't have to look outside the country, we can just look within. But you don't have enough faith in your own people, Americans, to look within. You want to go out to every white country you possibly can to draw in talent because you don't think it's here. Says a lot about what they think about you, Americans. Pay attention. Pay close attention. How much they care about you, they keep telling you. It's up to you to listen. And if you're not listening, you're easily suckered, and they have no problem doing it to you over and over and over and over again. We have to be aware. Let each other know it's not a competition. It's a mission for us Americans to love on Americans. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, just as long as you got some fucking sense, or independent, or don't vote at all. As long as you got some sense about this country and understand it, and stop being gaslit into believing certain things when in fact there's so much to learn. But trust people who give you the right information. It's not really hard. If you see a friend, if you don't like to read and learn, you see a friend, whatever friend has told you the truth about something, start trusting that one. And all you got to do is look up 5 things they said on 5 different times that you met them. And whatever they said that was either political or about society or about life in general, go look it up. And if that information does not bore out, your friend is bullshit. Don't believe another fucking word he says or she says, because they don't do their homework. It really is quite simple, even if you want to learn from others and not actually do it for yourself. Go check them 4 or 5 times, whatever it may be, different instances. If they lie more than they tell the truth, stop listening to them. It's very simple. But people don't want to do it. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so that is what we've been having to deal with. Now, the next thing with Trump focusing on China. Listen to this and tell me what you think, MAGA, how your dear leader looks not only to people who are not MAGA, like myself, but to American citizens who aren't MAGA, to the world, what he looks like. Does this tweet sound like he's a leader or a simp? Donald Trump says, I like President Xi of China. Always have. Always will. But he is very tough and extremely hard to make a deal with. What the fuck was that? I thought you was like Mr. Dealmaker. You mean to tell me trying to make a deal with this man is hard? Had you listened to your predecessors, you would have known that. Every president, as far as I've been alive, has talked about how hard it's been to make deals with Putin, with the president, or with China itself, regardless of who was in the position. But with China, it's hard to make a deal with them. But in the 80s, Reagan did it. It's funny how this man is kissing the butt of President Xi, and he was remember Donald Trump said this shit at a dinner raising money and funds or whatever. They asked him about the trade deals. He said, yeah, you should hear it. They're calling me up just kissing my ass. They're kissing my ass. Who kissing your ass, bruh? From what I see, you kissing asses. I like him a lot. Yes, I do. Always have, always will. Like you, bro. This man ain't even responding to you. I like him. Always will. Always have, always will. He knows you need him more than he needs you. It reminds me, again, like I said, these guys have always had to pay for their girlfriends or their wives. Their kids don't respect them or love them. They just do it out of loyalty to money or something else they have over them. Because there is no way on this earth, right, that a person who is a leader, a person who is the alpha, is going to send a text or a tweet or whatever the hell this is, truth, looking like a simp. Call me back, please. What did I do to piss you off? I like you. Hang up, call back 13 minutes later. I know we still cool, right? Why you ain't answering me? All right. You gonna pick up? Can you hear me? Don't tell nobody. I'm sorry for what I said. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do right by America. What? You still there? That's what this man is doing. It is the saddest thing to see. Somebody so weak that he has to write in caps. He's very tough and extremely hard to deal with. Boo-hoo. This, MAGA, this is your king. This. The dude who can't get China on the phone or even to truth or tweet him. And keeps on asking it by giving compliments. I like you. Always will. Wow. Wow. That is sad, y'all. I ain't never, ever did that shit. Now, when I was younger, dating people, I had girlfriends and stuff like that. I may have done that at like 12, 13, 14, something like that. But I learned at a very young age, to me that's young, that's not the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was like first time dating, you know what I'm saying? This dude is 78, about to be 79. And he's calling when the person doesn't want to talk to him. He's tweeting or truthing because he can't get him on the phone. He's using every modality of communication to reach out to him, and President Xi ain't saying shit back to him. That's strong, all right. That's a stupid strong. It ain't strong. You know what I'm saying? It's just insane that somebody would allow that to even, they should have told him to drop that shit quick, but nope, he didn't. Last thing we're going to talk about, again, dealing with President Xi. What is President Xi doing? While Donald Trump is groveling, talking about he likes somebody and giving compliments and hoping that President Xi returns the favor and give him a compliment, but Xi ain't saying nothing. President Xi out in the streets telling his people, every advantage that America keeps fucking up on, let's take advantage of that. And their people are like, bet, got that, got you. So what is Donald Trump doing? Well, like I told you about the scientists and all that stuff that's been going down. Well, President Xi said, basically what happened in the New York Times, they said China really wants to attract talented scientists Trump just helped. And what this is about, you say scientists from China are under particular pressure here in the United States. Officials have said that they may pose a national security threat by funneling valuable knowledge to China. So they're trying to say that people here in China are funneling really good knowledge that they're learning in America to China. So they're going to try and throw something on them, whatever, and basically try to kick them out of the country is basically what they're trying to do, this investigation. This is a way to force President Xi to actually get back in touch with them. And what does President Xi do? He tells his people, a lot of our people leave China to go to America to have jobs and have their type of lifestyle, living in the democracy and all these different things, have this freedom to be rich and all that. Yeah, they want that. Okay, whatever. But regardless, that's what they leave and they go there for. They're the ones who are helping their scientists, stuff like that from all over the world. They're the ones that are helping their country get a better lifestyle, whatever, science and technology, get ahead of us. President Xi is basically saying, excuse me for a second here. I'm not responding to the orange idiot. So I'm just going to say this to you and have his people say, you know what? Come to China. All the people that Donald Trump and Americans don't want, we got space for you. The best and the brightest, Chinese or whatever race you may be. If they don't, Latin, if they don't want you, we do. Come on. We're going to give you money, housing, and everything you need to make China the best country on the fucking planet. Come on in. Donald Trump, his loss, our gain. And people were taking him up on it. Some people who are here, who are scientists, who keep us ahead of the fucking curve on everything. You got to understand something. Almost every advancement of technology that we have superseded others, is from other people coming to this country and developing it here. The atomic bomb took people from other countries, Germany and others, brought them here. And then we advanced ahead of all these other countries. That's the reason why we are one of the superpowers via like war in our army. Outside of having so many people, our technology, the things that we've created over the years, not all patented by, they're Americans, but they're not by way of America. They're by way of Russia, Germany, China, Japan, but they live here. We're given opportunities here to bring their brilliance here. And Donald Trump playing these games is going to get the best and the brightest to bounce. What do you think that does to our national security? Does it make us stronger or does it make us weaker? It absolutely makes us weaker because we're not giving the American people the education to be able to replace these types of people from other countries where their countries spent millions of dollars into them being brilliant at what they do, putting them in schools and making them brighter because they're already smart. They saw that talent and they put them in certain schools to excel. So they tapped all the brilliance out of that person in whatever particular field. And they've done it for multiple fields in their country. That's why their country has grown, because they put robotics people, I don't care if you was 12 years old, they put you in these programs and the government was doing this stuff, getting these people. It happens in India, it happens in China, it happens in Japan. It just doesn't happen in America. We give scholarships to people that this is a whole other ball game, beyond scholarships. And that's why they've advanced in many areas than we have. And President Xi told his people, go get them, bring them here. I'm not addressing Trump. No need. He's groveling. I speak to men, not wussies. He's begging. I don't deal with beg. It's beneath me. That's our leader. He is beneath most of these leaders because they don't grovel. Donald Trump does. They make deals. Donald Trump has somebody else write a book to say that he's a good deal maker. He's never really made any great deals. I guarantee you, every deal he's made, the people who made it with them realize they just suckered this fool. All we got to do is give him compliments. We make a shit ton of money. Well, we'll give him 10 million. We'll make 100. Or we'll give him 100 million. We'll make $1 billion. Look at the great deal I made. Yeah, we'll let you say that. But what great deals has he made for America? That would be zero. I'm just saying. Facts are facts. Facts are facts. But these are the things that are happening. These tariffs are killing the economics of Americans. Today, so many things have come out. One of them is about the trade deficit and how, and the CBO score came out, how many people are going to lose certain types of things. Insurance. Let's do it the CBO score first. Now, these things right here came from MSNBC. And that score is, and they've had different scores throughout the day. So I'm guessing some of these things are about averages and some of these are adding up other programs like totaling this into it. Like this one totals all these other ones, and because there's going to be like this CBO score, the new spending bill that they're talking about doing, $2.4 trillion increase in the federal debt. Right? Some had $4 trillion, and this one is talking about just this bill alone within. I think they said within a 10-year. I think they go on 10-year process, whatever. It's $2.6 trillion, $2.4 trillion. And 16 million people are in. It will increase in the number of people without health insurance. So it's going to move it to 16 million people without health insurance if this bill passes. That's what the CB score is saying. That's why you got Elon Musk saying no. Now I want to know the real reason why Elon Musk is saying this, because while he was in the White House, he wasn't saying this. He knew what they were trying to pass. It's just when he got out, he started leaning toward this direction. Now he's going like again, the opposite of full MAGA, right? But these are the things that are going to happen if that bill passes. Hope that it doesn't. Hope these people wake up and send it back, and the House has to just scrap it and start back over again. I am of the mindset that we need to stop putting 7,000 things into a bill. There's no reason a bill should be 9,000 pages. 900 pages. There's no reason why that should be. So I think that we need to just start putting like bills that are, if there's going to be specific, these particular things we're talking about health, let's just have health shit in it. That's it. If it's talking about, and I know we got to have a budget for all these things incorporated, but if that's the case, then stop hiding pork inside of it. There should be no pork bills, right? If any pork is in it, it's had to become null and void. Something to that nature, because again, these MAGA people are saying they are just now seeing something that they said yes to, which tells you how many of these bills have they passed that they haven't read, and how many of these bills that have passed that have clauses in them that F us over. We have no clue, because it's not talked about, and it wasn't caught before it was signed or implemented. I remember way back, John McCain was saying something to the effect of, let's take the pork out of the bills. We don't want any more pork. And I was 100% behind that. But his Republican, they were switching to MAGA. So couldn't get anything passed. But that was it. But last thing I want to say is, for those who are in the industry of like transportation, logistics, that are doing these traveling back and forth, picking up these freights, delivering them for major corporations, Walmart, different things of that nature. I saw today that these tariffs, because they just went on today, I think the tariffs of the 50% of steel and aluminum just came on today. I don't know exactly. I haven't checked. Maybe it's changed. But it went on early this morning. They were talking about it. But before that, or really after that, before it actually got into place, they did, I think it was on MSNBC, I believe. They did two little exposés. One of a company that buys millions of products in their company a year, talking about the prices are going up. I think he's an air fryer company, if you saw that. The prices are going up for these different products. And that's how tariff works. And he was a Republican. And so he was going in on Donald Trump. He didn't say any names about him. He was just saying, I don't understand why he do this. This doesn't make sense. It's not indicative of the type of person that I would have voted for, so to speak, that he doesn't understand tariffs, and he don't know why he's doing this to business people. That being one. One thing I realized is the person that was interviewing him, is it Jake Soboroff or something like that? I may have got the name wrong, but he had like a weasel mentality. He's like, well, that's his opinion, not mine, type of thing. And I'm like, dude, he knows the business and you don't. Nobody's saying it's your opinion. We know it came out of his mouth. you don't have to back off of it. It was really weird. It seemed very weaselly. But that's what happened in that situation. He interviewed somebody else later on, and he was talking about, you know, that he was going to go through some problems as well. Well, earlier on about another guy who was a trucker, and he was a person who, I guess, goes freelances, so to speak. So he waits outside the yard to be called to go inside to pick up some freight and make money. So far, it's what? June. He's run out of savings. And him and his wife both do the trucking. She does it in the morning. He does it at night. And they're running out of savings. 5 children they have. And they're going broke. Tell me how these tariffs are a tax on the other country. I'm sorry for those, even if you voted for them. I'm sorry for those people who's going through it. But do Americans a solid. Next time, do your homework before you vote. Americans who voted the right way owe this presidency, owe these tariffs, owe these problems to you. You voted the wrong way. And you should be knowing it now, and you should be like actually saying, sorry to America. It is your fault we are in this situation. And because of that, I'll make a better decision next time. I'll do my homework. That doesn't mean I'm not going to ever vote Republican again. It literally means I am going to do my homework before I determine who I'm going to vote for. That's all people ask. Had you listened to the 92% and the 80% and other cultures, they're 40 or 50%, had you listened to them, we wouldn't be in this situation. So it's some come to Jesus moments for a lot of y'all. And if you can't admit it, then you're going to repeat it. So don't complain if you put yourself in the position that you're in. Walk up to a liberal or a Democrat or independent that voted the right way and tell them you're sorry. I know you guys don't have the guts, the wherewithal to do so. I'm just telling you what you should be doing. Because you owe them an apology. Don't go asking them to help you. Go to them and say, I'm sorry, you were right. Now I got to fight this because I'm probably going to get kicked out of the country. That's the way you should be coming at these people. Instead of, help me, why aren't you guys helping me? You have to admit your fuck up first. And ain't doing admitting the fuck up. I should have never voted for him. That ain't admitting the fuck up. Admitting the fuck up is literally saying, I'm sorry I'm putting America through this. It was my vote that put Americans through what they're going through right now. It is my vote why Cubans are getting their asses kicked in the streets and taken off like they're some kind of criminal. It is my fault that the Venezuelans are in a jail and never committed a fucking crime. It is my fault. I voted for this tyrant. That's how you take responsibility for your actions. And then change it. Get out in the streets with a sign, I voted for Trump, but I didn't vote for this. Get your ass in the streets and fight for the country that you was willing to set ablaze and hang Mike Pence for. You don't have the heart or the guts to do it for America right now. It says a lot about you. And as far as I'm concerned, if they throw you in those jails and you voted for Trump, good riddance. Don't get on TikTok crying about it. Accept your fucking whatever you put yourself into and take your happy ass to the country they take you to. Not into a jail. I am not for that. But if they taking you to a country, we told you that. We did. And I'm not just talking about black people. Again, 92% of the black women did. 80% of the black men did, around thereabouts. White women, was it 50 something percent told you that? 40 something percent, whatever it may be. White men, 40, 30% or whatever told you. They told you. Tell them you're sorry. Don't come in here and tell us your problems. We knew it was going to happen. We listened to him. We heard the words that came out of his mouth. How did you think they were going to grab up Latin criminals? How did you think they were going to grab them up? How do you think they were going to determine if it was? How do you think our system worked prior to this dipshit coming in? We were going after criminals. We first had to find out they were criminals, charge them for something, then kick them outside the country. But we had to find out. We didn't just snatch them off the street. We had to find out. And then we find out where they were, go snatch them up, send them back to their country. We already had that system in place. So the question to you was, how did you think he was going to pull it? I had video that I recorded way before this happened, before Donald Trump got elected. Many a times I said, Latin people, how do you think they're going to get the people who are breaking the laws that you believe that need to get kicked out of this country? How do you think they're going to find them? You are them. They're not going to be looking for anything other than the fact of brown people. We told you that. And you fought us. You complained, you bitched, you moaned. Palestine, Israel. I'm like, what about America? And you said, to hell with America, I'm focused on other countries. And now they're sending your asses to different countries. Listen, learn, educate yourself, and change when you know things don't work out for your best benefit. We can't walk you guys like little children across the street of intellect. You have to figure out how to get on that side. And it starts with reading, learning, educating yourself. Then you can get to the side of fucking common sense. Voting for your best interest. Get the fuck out of your feelings and focus on what you and your family need. And it can't be hatred, because that'll lead you the wrong way every time. Figure out what your family, what you can love on, how can you help them, instead of trying to hurt somebody else. Because in so doing, you're just now learning. If you're focused on hurting somebody else, you end up just hurting yourself. Hope you learned that. If not, it will repeat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate y'all. Let me look at my members. I appreciate, hey, Kristen, how you doing? Thank you for showing up. I appreciate y'all. Let's see who else was in the house tonight that are members. Alice, earlier. I saw you earlier. What's going on, Alice? Let's see. See, everybody was kind of getting in there, talking today. Nice. Swift Returns. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for showing up, showing out. Demetrius, thank you. Appreciate you. Hopefully you like the new look a little bit. I kind of switched it up a little bit. The chair's still there, but I moved it around. I'm putting in a little work, making it a little bit better each time. Well, I ain't gonna say each time, but as much as I can. I got a few more things I got to add. Mark, what's up, brother? Mark D was in the house. I don't know if you're still here, brother. But thank you guys for showing up. And all the regular people who show up in here, y'all know I got love for you. We'll see you guys tomorrow, which is what? Thursday. I have a show after this, which I went late. They're going to be pissed off at me for mental health. That starts a little bit after, probably in the next 10 minutes or so on TikTok. And that's called Neophytes Unite. We do meditation at the beginning, meditation at the end, and in between, we watch a documentary of some sort to learn about mental health. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and it helps out a lot. If you don't meditate, you need to try at least. so you can just calm yourself down. Throughout the week, a lot of crazy stuff happens. Usually by hump day, Wednesday, you're either stressed out or happy as hell, depending on how long your week is gone. But either way, relaxing a little bit just resets everything and gets you to the rest of the week, so you can get to the weekend and get up to your Mai-Tais or whatever it is you drink, so you can have a good time. So I appreciate you guys showing up and having a good time. Much love to y'all. Excuse me. If you want to support the show, you can. You see different ways, whether it's PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. If you go to TikTok, you can also do PayPal as well. Doesn't matter if you can be able to support the show. The proceeds go to just create more here and expanding the show, do different things that I can be able to do. I want to get to interviews and so forth and ask questions of people. It's hard when you're a straight facts person. Some people are afraid of straight facts. They don't want to talk to you about it. So I'm cool with that. So we'll just figure out something else to add people into it. Good night, Mark. Take care, brother. I see you, Earthkeeper. And yeah, definitely meditation. All right. As always, y'all know how we do. Gotta clear my throat. I'll see you when I see you. Take care. See if I got this right. No, I don't have it right. Isn't this crazy? There we go. Take care.